everybody, and welcome to the Healing Seminar. As I promised on Facebook this Friday, I had the privilege to give a lecture in front of many doctors and professionals. And the seminar did very well, but we couldn't record it. So many of my students asked me if I could record the video of the same seminar online so it will be for everybody. So you can find it in Pearls of Wisdom under the title Healing Seminar. Okay? So let's start. Well, you know, when we talk about the body, when we talk about our existing body, and we want to keep it, of course, healthy, nothing is more important than when you walk into a healthy body. When I say you walk into a healthy body, we have the soul that has to do with the Creator, and we have the body. Because if we look at the body, according to the Zohar, the body is built from red and white. The red part is a donation that you receive from your mom. The white part is a donation that you receive from your father. Meaning, for example, the white part of the eyes has to do with your father. Your bones has to do with your father. Your muscle, which is red, the blood, red cell, has to do with your mom. So when we talk about the combination between different parts of the body, they are both built from an aspect of your father and mother. So what about the soul? Well, the soul, if we talk about the soul, we are understanding that the soul itself has to do with the Creator, has to do with God. Then the biggest question is why there is different type of soul. In the time of intercourse between a father and mother, we define the quality of the soul that you're drawing down to this world. Now, what does that mean, a quality of the soul? How does it look like? What are we talking about? When we are talking about quality of the soul, is about the quality of the intercourse between the husband and wife. For example, if the husband only thinking about himself, that's a selfish energy that brings selfish soul into this body. Selfish soul means thinking too small. Every time we're thinking selfishly, we're thinking small. If the woman thinks selfishly, also that part is unfortunately bringing the foundation of the soul to become very selfish. So we need to understand that what does that mean then not being selfish? So for example, while the two people meet, the father and the mother meet, they are actually meditating to bring a soul from above, from that bank of souls, and they want to bring a high quality soul into this physical universe. And then we are able to create a pipe, to create a channel for the Creator of God to give us that high soul. Now, the body itself has to do with the gene of the father and the mother, has to do with physicality. But also this can be determined during the time of the intercourse. What exactly happened at that time? Is the wife happy? Is the husband happy? The amount of happiness between the husband and wife during the time of intercourse define the quality of the body of the child. Then I can add something even deeper than that before even we going into the seminar. Reincarnation. What happened last lifetime? If last lifetime something went wrong, or that individual committed a certain crime, then this lifetime, of course, something has to be that they have to somehow clean this negativity that they created by going to some pain and suffering and etc., etc., etc. Now let's talk about it without talking about the soul, without talking about your parents, without talking about last lifetime, because this is the foundation that I want to give you. But let's talk about from a point of view what unfortunately caused people to get sick. What's the secular study? What is the study that they have in the university? So a famous thing that you can find online on Google, that they found out that people really concerned. People worry about everything. They worry about not having enough money. They worry about being sick. They worry about being alone. They worry about getting hurt. They worry about driving in the rain. They worry about driving when it's too hot. They worry to drive when it's too cold. They always worry. Now, the body can take stress. But if all what the body experiences is stress, then you are in a war zone, meaning you're always afraid of something to happen, and that's why you have to defend yourself before even the war began. And that by itself, my friend, create an energy around you of a war. So what happened? It creates tension on your muscles, create tension on the sinus, create tension on the vein, create tension on the blood flow, create tension on the circulation and the digestion of the food, the liquid in your body. Because if you look at the amount of liquid you have in the body, it's about 90%. We're talking about like basically a bag of water. That's who we are physically. But that bag of water called human, very emotional, very sensitive. And we have to address the emotions and the way we get sensitive in a serious way. Because if we don't, then what happened, it affecting us. It's affecting us in such a way that we become very negative. And once we become super negative, things start to go wrong with the body as well. You know, people who are always worried, always something is missing, always they don't have money, eventually there is no flow of energy spiritually to come into the body. And that's why the studies show that truly we're supposed to be worried 8% of the time, meaning during the day. So you have, let's say, 15 hours that you are awake. In the 15 hours that you are awake, you're supposed to be worried 8% from it. So let's say 10% is 1.5 hour, right? 1.5 hour. So let's say if you worry 1.5 hours a day, that's it. Cannot do more than that. If you worry more than 1 hour, we got a problem. That's when you know the body cannot handle that stress anymore. The body starts to collapse because the body give up. The body say, I'm not here only to protect myself, I'm here to create myself. There's a big difference between fighting and between creating. Because when you're creating, you create something else. Ask yourself right now, what makes you more happy? Defending yourself or creating yourself? When you look at the two teams that play basketball or soccer or football, look at the winning team, they play harder than the losing team. But for some reason, the losing team has no power to continue. What happened? Because one team busy creating, the other team busy defending. You can win by defending all the time. You can. You can make yourself healthier if you defend. Because eventually you will collapse. You cannot do it anymore. And that's what happened to most people that get sick. They defending all the time. So the result, that what they study, if I'm not mistaken, this study is from New York Hospital. I think it's on 68 in York. They say that emotions can trigger negative stress and disease. Emotion, just your emotion. And the medical study tell us that when you feel lonely, it can cause heart disease. Can you imagine? Anger can cause heart disease or liver disease. So now we learned something. If we can be a little bit more positive about our emotions, there is a better chance for me to be healthy. But we all know we get disappointed every day. We get angry every day. Things just not working the way I want it. Some people feel lonely. They cannot find their soulmate. They go and party. They come home. They're alone for many years. Some women, some men, losing their wife, losing their husband. And then they are alone. And then you see how they divide to two groups. The one who stay alone, the one that being creative, and the one that's staying alone and being more, basically suppress their sadness into their heart until they die. We need to be careful with that, because the main thing we want to do is, how can I be creative? Once you want to stay long life, be creative. Right, come up with new idea. Don't be defensive. The difference between defensive and creative, defensive will eventually disappear, will not last for too long. Every team that is only defensive will lose. And even if they win, they will lose. What do I mean by that? When you play defensive any game, you will feel sad in the end of the game. When you feel offensive or creative in every game, you will feel great even if you lost. So ask yourself something. What do you want to achieve in this life? Is it better for you to win the game while you're playing defensive, and then when you go home you have no energy left? Not to your family, not to anybody. You cannot give energy because there's nothing left in you. But if you come as a creative person, you keep your body with more health. Now, I'm going to go into something that is written in the book of Yetzirah, the book of formation. And the book of formation talk about a unique diagnostic of the body. And the book of formation, of course, divided everything into, according to God's name, the Tetragrammaton. It's called Yud Kei Vav Kei. And they explain in the book of formation that fire, there is 4 foundations: fire, air, water, and earth. Okay, this is the 4 foundations. The first foundation, fire, correlating to the letter Yud. The letter Yud is the first letter of the name of God, of the name Tetragrammaton, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Has to do with the skin in the body. Now there is 2 meanings to it. In general idea, whoever is fire sign has to watch your skin, or they have a need to watch your skin. Okay, people like Sagittarius, like Leo, like Aries. Why is that? Because what is a fire? When you have a lot of fire in your body, it's going to come out like a volcano. Where is it going to come out? To the skin. So the skin area has to do with fire. Now, I'm not going to go into astrology, because it could be that your rising is fire, it could be your moon is fire. This lecture is not about astrology. So I'm just giving a general idea about what means fire foundation. So the fire foundation, when a doctor, as I teach on Friday, come to visit the patient, and when they see that the person born, let's say, August 5th, they know it's a fire sign. Then you talk about a style of talking to them, is the diagnostic is through the fire. What is this fire? Fire gets sick when they can't do anymore anything. That's how fire shut down. You cannot shut down a fire. Fire is explosive. You have to be always creative. Fire cannot be defensive. Always need to create. Can never be rest, because the fire never rests. The sun never rests. If the sun will ever rest, we will die. So fire energy is what that person can do. It's always you look at that person, what they can do. So when you talk about people which, let's say, God forbid, has a skin problem, you talk to them about what creative thing you can add into your life. Second thing, if you meet people who are fire sign from astrological point of view, like I explained before, and they get sick, you talk to them what can be creative with their personality. Let's move forward. When we talk about air sign, it is Gemini, it's Aquarius, and it's Libra, correlating to the letter A or Binah in the Tetragrammaton. It has to do with the flesh. It has to do with the flesh, with the meat, with the muscle. Okay? So those people, if you look at them, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, they cannot be choked. Because once the muscle is not being used well, what happens? It gets shortened. So the muscle has to be stretched, has to be used, has to be walked, has to be running. So people like that usually get sick when you're shutting down their movement. If you take away their movement, they cannot use the muscles anymore. It's not like the fire. The fire can be sitting on the table and be creative by writing, by doing things. Here, you need the movement of the body. So if you meet somebody like this who's sick, you talk to them, okay, after we're going to get over that disease, what type of thing you want to do outside of your house? So usually they like to go outside. All right. We're going to water sign or water personality. Letter is Vav, Ze'er Anpin. From the Tetragrammaton is the third letter. Sinus. Sinus is basically the connection between the muscles and the bones. So we're talking about more to keep it healthy. How do we keep it healthy? Mostly by stretching. Stretching. Now, if we talk about the sign that's controlling it, is Cancer, it's Scorpio, and it's Pisces. It's people that usually like to be inside something, right? The Pisces is inside the lake, ocean. The Cancer as the how it cover itself really well with that shield. The Scorpio also have a similar shield. So those people need to be protected. When they feel they're not protected, then they feel things might go out of control. So usually they get sick when they feel they have no control. So their disease has to be relating between connection between the bones, right, and the muscles. They are the bridge. That's why they are in Ze'er Anpin. So they are connecting. What is the bones? Bones is feeling of safety. What is a muscle? Movement. So how can you connect something that moves all the time, that's something that stays all the time? That's what the sinus is. They're connecting the movement into stability. So what do you need to do to connect those two areas? Do you need to move or you need stability? Well, you need balance. And that's why water people have always lack of balance. Okay? If you know more about astrology, you know that those three signs specifically always have lack of balance. Either control, either addiction, something is issue there because they are working from their emotions. So what they got to do from a point of to keep themselves healthy is they have to create movement that create for them something that is safe, a safe place. So they need to think about how to save themselves, how to feel safe, either by meditating, either by doing things, but they need to feel safe. When they don't feel safe, unfortunately, they can get sick. They need to feel safe. So if it's in a money area, or relationship area, or health area, they need to tell their mind that everything is already okay. The sinus usually has issue in the body when the balance between movement, either movement too much, or either stagnant too much, not moving at all. So you need to find the balance, moving and stopping. But if you move too much, not good. If you don't move at all, also not good. The balance between the two. We're coming to the last A of the Yud Kevavke, the Tetragrammaton. It's Earth. And Earth has to do with Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. The letter that connect to them is A, and the part of the body is bones. Because these three type of people need bones, need stability. So they get sick usually when they see that there is no more foundation. So if they feel there is nothing they can lean on, they get very nervous. They get panic attack, and that will lead them to heart attack, and that will lead them to a sudden death. Okay, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. They need to know that they have something to lean on. If they have something not to lean on, that can create a problem. Remember, before the sinus is the bridge with what you lean on to the muscle, to the flesh, the movement. So what do we do with this diagnostic? Basically, we understand from this diagnostic, when we learn about ourselves, what type of persona we are. It doesn't have to go by the sign. Are you a fire? Meaning you always want to be on top. Are you a flash? You always want to be in a movement. Are you a sinus? Meaning you want to find the balance, but you cannot find it, unfortunately, between too much movement or don't move at all. And that's why you get confused. Or are you the person who just needs stability? Once you have enough money, a good house, a good husband, a good wife, a good kids, then you can fix everything. So what type of person are you? And once you find out what type of person are you, then you know that your emotions will get hurt in that area. And to that, you might get sick if you don't get that area balanced. Now, let's understand it deeper a little bit. I'm reading now from the Zohar. The Zohar has a section in the portion of Pinchas. And that section called the inner organ. The inner organ. And in the inner organ, they talk about first about the lungs. Your lungs, how you breathe. And they write that the lungs are like blowing oxygen, of course, or air into your body through your nose, through the two nostrils, and it's cold on the left and it's warm on the right. Doesn't make any sense, right? If I'm going to Siberia right now and I'm going to breathe, it's going to be cold in both nostrils. It's not going to be warm and cold. So what does it mean? And he continues from the point of the brain. The cold is called the giving energy. It's called chesed. And the left, it's called gevura, which is going to the heart. So now we know that the nose, when we breathe, the cold, the right going to the brain, and the left going to the heart. Now physically, we can prove it, because it's both going to the lungs, and the lungs, basically, you know, I'm not here to teach you physics, and we get the oxygen, and then you rejuvenate the body, and so on and so on. The Zohar is teaching us something deep. If you learn to breathe from your nose, you take care of your health of your brain and the health of your heart. So if there is one thing you want to do daily, is to sit and breathe from your nose, but you have to meditate that the right side going to your brain, taking care of the well-being of the brain, and the left side going to your heart. Because if you look at the fetus, before the baby is kind of even developed to become a baby shape, the heart and the brain are one. In the first few weeks, they are one. Before the head separate from the heart, it's actually one. So basically the heart and the brain is the same piece. It just separate, heads go up or heart go down, it's the same piece. If you ever saw those pictures online, you can go on YouTube now and check it. So we understand that we have a blend of hot and cold. We need that balance to keep our life healthy. We need the balance between hot and cold. All what the body wants from us is balance. That's it. Just balance. You give body the balance, the body give you health. You cannot give health just by eating vegan, and I'm sorry for all the vegan eater, or organic. This is help too. What is the vegan and the organic do for you, the nutrition? It's helping the body to go to less stress. So some people will eat very unhealthy food and they will keep living till under the 9. Why? Because they're still happy. So they injecting energy to the body, which keeping them longer. Some people eating vegan and vegetables and nutrition, which are perfect for them, but they don't turn to live very long. Why? Because the stress of eating the right food is killing them. Because emotionally, it's very, very powerful what you can do to your body, to your stress and emotion. You gotta be careful. So the breathing, we know for sure it's keeping you healthy. If you want to focus on one thing, breathing. Nothing more important. That's why smoking is not the best thing for you. Not because smoking is not good for you, because once you smoke, it's affecting the nose. What is smoking? It's basically bringing hot, only hot thing into your lungs. Hot going where? Heart. Not balanced, because at that moment the brain don't get the cool, the heart getting only hot, the body get out of balance. It start boiling the body. And that's why most people who smoke, usually it's not just lung cancer, it's also heart attack. It's go together. But many people who smoke, who let's say very happy and they do all kind of exercise, they will live till 98. So I'm not telling you that will kill you, this will kill you, this will kill you. I'm not here to predict your future. You gotta find the balance. You gotta find the balance. I'm here to share with you what's good. There's a lot of bad things out there, like stress. But what's good is when you breathe in the right way with the right meditation, it helps. Let's go deeper. The Zohar continue, actually a few verses before, and he's talking to us about another problem that makes most people sick. It's called anger. I never met a person who didn't get angry. Usually when I met people who never get angry, I become very suspicious of them. I don't trust them. Because somebody who don't get angry at all, either they're using pills or alcohol or drugs, or either something went off there. They call it in psychology, I think, disassociate behavior. Disassociate behavior means people that went to a trauma in their life and they disassociate from their surrounding. So nothing makes them angry. Every person gets angry. Anger is part of your emotions. So if you find a society of people that don't get angry, be very suspicious. Something is off. But how far is your anger taking you? Because the anger, my friend, where does it come from? The anger is coming from kis amara, the pocket of bitterness, that call in English gallbladder. So the anger, tell us the Zohar, come from the gallbladder or from the liver, if you wish. Now, people who get angry, what they do, they take a drink. They go to the bar, they have a drink, gin and tonic or vodka or tequila or scotch or whiskey. They drink. After they drink, what happened? They come down. What actually come down? The heart rate go down, the blood pressure go down for now, for the moment, and they feel like everything is okay. But actually, where is the alcohol go? To the liver. What is the liver has to do? What I said before, anger. So it's a catch-22. Where they usually end up when they want to change after they drink too much? In a rehab place or in the 12-step place. What does the 12-step do for them? Removing them from the addiction. What happened after they remove themselves from the addiction? They are angry again. So we didn't take care of what? Of the anger, which is the cause of the disease. And a lot of people who are suffering from addiction or from anger issue, eventually, again, the disease that they might have is in their liver. Now, unfortunately, the Western medical way of thinking is not like the Chinese, for example. The Chinese take care of the liver in a very serious way. They look at the liver as a foundation of everything. After all, the liver is very unique. You cut half of the liver will grow. The liver is the sign of immortality, the way that God wanted to create us, if you think about it. Because the original way of how the body works is immortal. We meant to be immortal. We meant to live forever. But of course, we forgot that what was our main mission. I talked to a few doctors and said to them, the sign of immortality is that the nails grow after you bury a person. The doctors say, no, Eliyahu, you're wrong. I thought about it like for the last 28 years, and I was wrong. I Googled it, and the doctor was right. The nail is not growing in the grave. What happened, the flesh in the grave is, disintegrate, meaning it's going back. The liquid disappears, right? And then everything becomes small. So it seems like the nails is growing. So the flesh going backward, the nails going forward. So I studied something this Friday from that doctor. He was right. I didn't have a chance to tell him that he was right. And the part that is immortal in your body is the liver. You cut it, it grows. Also the nails while you are alive. Also your hair. Not mine, but most people. You cut it, it grows. So the whole idea of understanding that within our body, we have immortal energy. Within the immortal energy, we can actually rejuvenate the body. So the liver, take care of your liver. Take care of your liver, and you take care of your life. Now, we need to understand how to take care of the liver, of course. And I'm not here to give you a nutrition class. This you can take online with somebody to teach you how to eat. But I will tell you, every time you're getting angry, a minute before you get angry, a minute, you're usually going to feel something in your stomach, in your belly. Okay? It will start from the middle, above the belly button, to the right. So that's the gallbladder and the liver area. Meaning the energy of anger produce enough disease into your body to make you sick. I mentioned immortality before. I want to add another thing. One of the immortal cells that we have in the body is a cancer cell. A cancer cell that don't want to die grow to become tumor. Unfortunately, the tumor make it, but everybody else don't. Because the cell reproduce itself, right? One cell die, one cell born. Cancer cell, and that's why one day, my theory, one day they will be able to take an injection or to pull out a liquid from the middle of the cell of the cancer and take the cure, not just for cancer, but the cure for humanity to live forever. I'm not a doctor, I don't know how to do it. I'm a visionary. So this is my call to people who are doctors or people who can talk to doctor. Let's talk about the three major organs in your body. According to the spirituality, according to religion, according to Kabbalah, according to the Talmud, a person has three major organs. One is called brain, in Hebrew, moach. One is called heart, in Hebrew, lev. One is called liver, in Hebrew, kaved. If you put the initial of those letters, you're going to get melech. Melech means king, or queen, or a ruler, somebody who ruled the world. If a person is capable to put things in order, brain, heart, liver. Brain representing the mind, the way we think, the mental being, how positive I am, how happy I am. The heart represents the emotions, and the liver represents your passion. If your passion coming before your feeling, before your brain, before your mind, then we have reversing the letter, you get klum. You become nothing. Kaf, lamed, mem, klum, nothing. So you have to be careful with the liver. Because once the liver control your essence of who you are, because the liver is about desire and passion. You need to have it. Without liver, you have no passion. So let's study the liver then. The liver. We say kaved. Kaved. Kaved in Hebrew means heavy. So the word for the liver in Hebrew, ancient Hebrew of course, is heavy. Meaning, if we carry ourselves too heavy, how do you become too heavy? I mean, everybody want to lose some weight. What does heavy mean? Heavy means that you don't let go of some idea. You can forgive somebody who hurt you. You can forgive your father for whatever they did to you. You can forgive your mother for whatever she did to you. If you cannot forgive someone, what happened to your gallbladder and the liver make you very heavy. Mean you cannot move on. You try to move on, but you get stuck. You get stuck. Now, are you right for not forgiving the people? Absolutely, you're right. Absolutely. Did they did something bad to you? Yes. Is the justice with you? Yes. So what? Are you going to get sick over that? Are you going to get sick over being right? Just because you're right, you don't have the right to say that you're right. Just because you're right, you don't have the right to say that you're right. You got to remember that. Think about what you prefer. Happiness versus being right. Forgiving is not the easy thing, my friend. I grew up in a family almost like a top secret family. Nobody said, I love you. Emotion was not shared. And I grew up very angry, not knowing why they couldn't share with me some love. Being a Scorpio, being a water sign, poor me, don't getting the love I wanted. With the years of spirituality, I learned to understand, I study, I get to an idea that I gotta forgive my father, my mother, for not being the emotions, show me the emotions that I want them to show me. It's not their fault. It's my right, it's my test, it's my journey. I need to study from it something. I need to get something out of it. The way I treat my kids, my family, I usually talk open about things. I will not judge my children, my wife, if they show some emotional breakdown, whatever it will be, fear, crying, anger. I understand it. That's emotions. Emotions got to be expressed. Not like in my family, the way I grew up. So I had to forgive my father for not expressing love to me. He expressed love to me through different teaching and different study, but not with words that I was looking for. But it doesn't mean that he was wrong. It's mean my task in this lifetime is to forgive. So I will not be kaved. I will not be heavy, get stuck in the same area. So the workshop I would like to offer you for the liver is a question that you're going to ask yourself and write it down. What do you feel bitter or victim about in your life? You have to make a list about where you feel people cheat you, where you feel people didn't treat you right. Write a list of all those things and write it down. And then you have to go to the list and next to it write who did it to you. Let's say my father. And you read down, I forgive my father, I forgive my mother, I forgive my sister, I forgive my son, I forgive my daughter, I forgive my wife. And after you forgive everybody, you take this paper and you burn it into the fire. It will help you a lot with your liver. Also, I highly recommend it, those of you who know what the 72 name of God that came through the Zohar. It's a very powerful meditation that you can use also for Rabbi Avraham Abulafia. I didn't share how to do it yet. It's a secret meditation that in one day I will share it with you. But what you want to do, while you look at the 72 name, you look at them from right to left, top to bottom. And when you look at the 72 name, you want to breathe, okay, 27 times. And when you're breathing, remember, the right nostril, brain, left nostril to the heart. And then slowly, slowly, that will, in the end of the 27 breathing, while you're looking at the names, meditate to remove any type of heaviness in your life or people you cannot forgive to. Let's talk about the next organ, the heart. What a wonderful machine the heart is. Pumping blood, receiving and taking. Receiving and giving. Taking and giving. Sharing and all of it together. The heart is the balance between taking and giving. It takes the blood and pump the blood back. Take. But the heart is unique because it never takes the blood for itself. It takes the blood for everybody else. It's beautiful. It's a pump. It's a pump of blood. Now, such an important machine in the center of your body. This machine also includes feeling and emotions in it. All your emotions are in the heart. The way we keep our heart healthy is we don't just be selfish, taking all day long, and we not become overgiving for the sake of ego so people see how great I am. We gotta find the balance. One time we say, I want. One time we say, how can I help? Both ways. That's what keeps the heart healthy. Now, you have to ask yourself, if we talk about the workshop for the heart, in what way my heart is close to receive love? Am I close to receive love? Am I capable to receive compliment? Are you one of those people when they tell you lost so much weight and they say, no, it's a new pants, it's big on me? Are you one of those? That means the heart cannot receive what the heart meant to receive. You're blocking. So that's a problem. Second question, which way is your heart close to give people? Are you give compliment to people every day? Are you sharing compliment every day? And how do you share your compliment? Are you make the person feel safe, or you make the person feel like they owe you something? You have to ask yourself. It's all about communication, your emotions in a balanced way to make the other person feel comfortable and to be able to receive back all this wonderful thing that they want to give you. Third question, how do you typically react when you go into something unfair in your life? Express your feeling. When something is not fair, somebody cheat you in the game, somebody cheat you in school, somebody, God forbid, cheat on boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, how do you react to it? If you overly react to it, unfortunately, it's injecting negative energy into your heart. You have to be able to stay proactive. You have to be able to understand that if you react towards something unfair too much, it can affect the heart. So, balance is the name of the game. Now, because the heart is pumping liquid, blood, into the body. The blood, according to the Zohar, according to the Torah, it's a Adam u nefesh. The blood is the nefesh. The blood representing the nefesh, the basic foundation of the soul of every human being. Now, so I would like to tell you that when your blood is healthy, your body should be healthy. How do you make your blood healthy? First, the foundation of everything is food. The foundation of everything is water. It's what type of water, what type of food you put into your body. In the old days, they thought alkaline is perfect. Now they're going into acidic is perfect. You know, the Talmud in Masechet Barachot, in the section of Barachot, in the end, talk about different type of food which is healthy for you. I will tell you, go with whatever you know. Everything is true. The truth is everywhere. But more important, understand that the blood, because it's liquid, it's get affected by your mode, by how you're feeling. But there is also planet that affecting your body. The one that affects the liquid the most is the moon. So remember, in the full moon, when everybody is fall in love, or they think they fall in love, usually people tend to fight. Why? Because full moon give a lot of pressure on your blood vessel, on your liquid, and people become too sensitive. So, just understand that you need to be careful. In a full moon, that's why women give birth, usually in a full moon. There's a lot of pressure, emotional pressure. All right, I just want to share that, okay? The brain. The brain is a unique thing. In Kabbalah, the brain called Keter, the crown. Meaning, this is everything. We don't know that much about the brain. We think we know, but we have no clue how the brain operates. We think we do, but we don't. According to the Kabbalistic teaching, the brain It's very unique. So it's connected to a place called Ein Sof, endless. What is in the endless? Endless, no end. So if you try to figure out the brain, and I hope this message will come across to many people, you cannot figure it out. Because figuring it out, meaning putting an end to it. So when people will start thinking, how can I think endlessly? They will start to understand the brain. The brain is just a vehicle to capture the mind. What is a mind? A mind is the endless ocean of thought that are available. Ocean of words, ocean of letter, ocean of idea, ocean of vision, ocean of everything that was, is, and will be exists in that ocean. When your brain is open and clean, you can tap into different idea. And then you bring the idea down into your brain, and then you either manifest it through your mouth by talking about it, or through your hand by drawing it or doing it. That's the two ways to manifest things. Talking or doing. The mind cannot do or cannot talk. But the mind is the fisherman. Is the one who goes fishing in the ocean of thought and bring things down. How do you keep your brain healthy? Well, lately when you look at teenager and young crowd and teenager are always busy doing something. In my time, my father's time, it was time that it was no TV. I'm not that old, but we were poor, so we didn't have TV. So my father had this candle and used to bring like a blanket or put it there in the dark and we play with the hand. And it was something to do. What did it last 25 minutes? What do you do after that 25 minutes? You do nothing. You do nothing. You either can read a book, you can study, you can talk to each other, or you can just think. That thinking time is must be added into school, into high school, into colleges. It has to be called the thinking room when you think. And when you think, you can talk. There's no phone, there's no computer, nothing. You have a pencil and a piece of paper and write down what are you thinking about. That half an hour every day. It's a necessity for the brain to function the way it's supposed to. The way we think, look at kids today. They get influenced whatever they see on the phone. They see whatever they see on the web. That's it. That's what their life is. Right? Guys look at the girls on the phone. They want to find a woman like they find on the phone. Men do that. Women do that. It's all the same. We're getting framed. We don't know how to use the brain. The brain meant to bring me vision and thought. People go to college. It's put them in the box that will serve society. People go to high school. They're going into a box that will serve the teacher not to work too hard. We are serving the box. That's what we're doing. Now, can we think out of the box? Never, because we are in the skull. But when you meditate, when you pray, prayer and meditation is one of the most powerful tools a human being can have to get out of the box, and through that, to connect to an endless options of vision and idea. But you gotta get out of the box. How do you do it? Meditation, praying, doing nothing. Sit, do nothing. Go. If you live in a big city like New York, go to the river. Right? Go sit to the river, 20 minutes. No big deal. You can find 20 minutes. And don't tell me going to the gym is a good thing. No, it's not. Because you're running. You think about how much weight you're going to lose. You watch the TV. What's happening with the stock? Well, it's never. Your brain is busy with 25,000 boxes. It's still a box. Playing chess, it's a box. Playing video game, it's a box. I want you to unwind your brain, like don't connect to anything, nothing. And let the idea start coming to you. And I will tell you, your brain will be so healthy, your idea will be so great. If you think about somebody like Leonardo da Vinci, he didn't have a TV. He had his pencil and a little booklet. But he was sitting there and experienced nature And by looking at the butterfly, the bird, the tree, the fruit, you start to realize how to use the brain. The brain. Once you take care of your brain to be healthy, to be a visionary, it's very, very important. I also recommend sabbatical. Sabbatical means not just 1 year. Sabbatical is like Shabbat. Sabbath, Shabbat. 1 day a week. Do not touch electronic. Don't. I don't care what day it is. For me, it's the Shabbat. For me, it's Saturday. You know, for 25 hours, you stay away from frame. No Googles, no TV, no phone, no nothing. No frame. You just let go. You just pray and meditate. It will make a all change in your life. So, once you do that, then I want you to ask yourself, once your brain gets healthy, even by watching me, this is a frame, but it's a frame to get you unframed. Okay, so I'm happy you're watching me, but after you watch me, go outside and do something. And ask yourself this question. Are you assuming things? Are you have something that you should, this is the truth? Question your own truth. Don't assume nothing. Assume nothing. If you're able to assume nothing, your mind just open up. For example, is the planet Earth going around the sun or the sun going around our planet? Obviously, we know that our little planets go around the sun. If you ask the church 1,000 years ago, they will tell you the opposite. We are the center of the world and the sun goes around us. Now, we know it based on knowledge of science. Can you challenge yourself? Don't assume that. Restudy it. Re-understanding it. Discover it not just by books, by sitting outside. Understand life. Because if you reteach yourself again and you assume nothing, you will have the foundation of everything. You will understand people. You will understand this universe. You will communicate better with your mind. You will feel things. It's so beautiful. So again, you know when the brain starts getting bad? When you're expecting the worst. There is people who want to be successful by expecting the worst. Expecting the worst, meaning that they train for the worst. What they do, they train what's the worst that can happen, and then they win. But you know what happened? All this time that they train, they don't have any joy. People who expect for the best, but train the best, they have good time the entire time. Anyway. Now, remember, I want to leave you with a few more points before I'm finishing it. Misery loves company. So, usually, sick people, depressed people get together. They find themselves together. Wherever miserable person will be another miserable person. Misery loves company. The way you know you start going down is you sitting around people who blaming everybody. And it's very normal to fall there. So don't hate yourself for that. Because when you blaming, that's when you fall down. It's fun to blame. You don't have to take responsibility. Even blaming yourself, it's still blaming. Taking responsibility, and you heard it by everybody. All the greatest speakers in the world talk about taking responsibility. But what does that mean? The other day, I received a phone call from a wonderful gentleman from New York, businessman. And he told me, Eliyahu, I found something about the Wright brother. The Wright brother were the first one who were capable to fly the first airplane, if you wish, North Carolina. And he told me, did you know, Eliyahu, that the engineer of that plane was the Wright brother. They hired a pilot to fly that airplane. But the pilot couldn't believe that airplane can take off, so the airplane never took off. And the reason it took off because the two brothers believed in it and they were able to take it off the ground. I didn't even check if the fact is true or not true what he told me. I was happy with that. Why? Because it fits very much with what I'm trying to tell you here. If you're blaming, that's when your mind is sick already. If you say, I'm going to make a change in my life because I'm taking responsibility for whatever is happening right now, I'm not blaming myself. I'm taking charge to make it better, then it will become better. But if you're sitting blaming there, another problem with the brain is called labeling. You call people loser or winner, tall, short, fat or thin, capable, not capable. We all have an analytical brain or judgmental brain. But the point is, how can we get into a place when I am not labeling you, I'm experiencing you. Now I'm allowed, as protecting my domain, if I think you're dangerous for me, to walk away. But be more open-minded, because open-minded brings you more vision, more thought. In the end of the brain has to do with balance. And the way to keep the brain healthy is to be happy. Find something that makes you laugh. Don't overly push the laugh away, because a forced laugh that comes out of your lungs affecting the heart. We want something that makes you happy. And you know the difference between a laughter that comes from happiness and a laughter that comes because I want to show everybody that I understood something. I'm not going to go there and talk about it. Now, there is few affirmations that will help your body to stay as healthy as it needs to be. First affirmation that you want to say every day while you're touching your body, you say, I love my body. You say it 5 times. I love my body. You say it 5 times. And if there is a part in the body you don't like, you touch that part with 2 hands and you say, I love my body to that part. Second affirmation that you can say as well, if you have the time, 5 times every day. I'm accepting myself now. You basically hold it against your heart like this, left, right? And you close your eyes and say, I'm accepting myself now. As you are, no guilt. And then, this one, you want to record yourself and you want to say it together with your recording. Or, if you have a group of people who agree to say it with you, that will be perfect. Today is good. Tomorrow will be even better. My future will be amazing. You said either in a group or either record yourself and say it together with a recording. A book that I wrote that you can find it on Amazon will help you with this as well. Okay? It's different affirmation that I basically give people that by reading them, they find themselves in a positive way. I would like to desire and hope and wish that what I share with you today will help you with the well-being of the body, well-being of the soul, well-being of the blood and the nefesh. And may God bless all of us. Thank you very much.